Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Grade 8 Events. I'm your host, Delaney Hall. So happy to be here with you on this final week of March. I can't believe it. We have a lot of great events to talk about, and some of them are outside. So I want to bring in my pal, meteorologist Matt DiNardo. Hey, Matt.
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
Yeah, good. Glad you're here on the show yet again. We do have a lot of events that are outside today, but it sounds like the weather is going to be on our side.
It really is. You know, I mean, as we get closer and into the weekend, you know, Friday, if you have some events, maybe Friday evening, I'm looking for mostly cloudy skies, but up near 70. There might be a couple of showers north of I-64. Saturday, though, looks to be the best day of the weekend, partly sunny, near 80. And then Sunday, back to that mixture of sun and clouds, mid-70s. I mean, really good. It's like we're in spring, but this is like fully in spring.
Yeah, because I think even this morning it was a little chillier, at least, of course, for us at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right,
So I think everyone's kind of waiting we see the flowers, we want to feel the warmth
So
too.
great.
Looking forward to it. Okay, so this week we are highlighting Secretariat Day.
Yeah.
It's happening in Ashland. There's a couple of different events going on. Actually, there's some on Saturday. Those are actually sold out. So we're going to focus on the one happening on Sunday that's free and open to the public. So I'm going to play some video from some previous Secretariat days that we as a station have covered. So if you're not familiar with who Secretariat is, he was a very famous thoroughbred racehorse. He was actually born in Caroline County. His owner, though, lived in Ashland, or is from Ashland and went to Randolph-Macon College there. And so they are very proud of Secretariat and his accomplishments. Of course, he won the Belmont Stakes in 1973, which secured the Triple Crown win. His birthday is March 30th, which is on Sunday, which is when the big Secretariat Day celebration in Ashland is happening. So on Sunday, you're going to find free family-friendly events with music, arts, vendors, activities, and of course, there's going to be birthday cakes. This is all happening at the Randolph-Macon parking lot. I have a full schedule of events on their website, which is secretariatforvirginia.org. There is live music. There's going to be playing a documentary at the Ashland Theater, followed by the actual Secretariat movie at the Ashland Theater. The Ashland Museum is going to be having some special programming. So anything that you can think of to really celebrate Secretariat, they're going to be doing. And Matt, we were talking a little bit before the show.
Yeah.
I actually did a story with Secretariat for Virginia, some of the folks from there a couple years ago, which is where I learned about Secretariat. I think a lot of us just think about the movie too.
Most people do think about the movie, but people my age remember some of the races, well, have to be a little bit older than me, but yeah, I mean, you know, and of course, the movie does a great job portraying how the horse came to be and the different races that it won and how fast it really was. And, I mean, just incredible. Disney did a wonderful job with that.
I think explaining it for kids, but also, I mean, growing up, I didn't know Secretariat was from here, so I think that's pretty cool. Again, this is all day on Sunday down over in Ashland. It looks like a lot of the scheduling starts around 11-ish. But head to secretariatforvirginia.org to see that full schedule of events, locations, times, specific acts that are going to be performing as well. You can find all that there.
Cool.
And you can end the day with Horsey Happy Hour.
I mean, why not?
I know, I love it.
Right?
At Studio 54, it is ticketed. It's $20 as an entry fee. But, you know, if you're interested in that.
So if it's Horse Happy Hour, I wonder if they serve mint juleps in honor of the Kentucky Derby.
I am sure.
And then I wonder if you have a Manhattan because it's the Belmont Stakes.
Right. You could
I'm
really
just
go
throwing
into
stuff out there.
I love it. You could really go full theme with this one.
Oh, I could go way over the top. Yeah,
I love it.
Probably
I love
shouldn't.
It. Which the Kentucky Derby is what? May
first
3rd?
weekend of May. So whatever the first Friday of May is what's called the Oaks, which is where all of the locals go to, and then the Derby is the first Saturday of May.
Okay.
And you know, you do get some locals. So my mom and my stepdad back in the day lived in Louisville, Kentucky for a number of years, and so let me preface this by saying I do know the deets on that. I have gone to Churchill Downs, not during the running of either. We went in an off day for racing, and just to walk in those grounds is purely majestic. And I am not a big time fan of horse racing. I mean, look, I can appreciate the power of these animals.
Right.
But that's like, it is like the history there. It's like, Wow.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I grew up going to Colonial Downs, you know, with my dad. I know they just recently had their Virginia Derby a couple weeks ago. That was sold out.
Yeah.
So I think people are really looking forward to, you know, those races and stuff.
For sure,
so,
absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that is Secretariat Day down in Ashland. I want to bring in our handy dandy list per usual to go over some other events. So the first one I want to talk about is Homes and Habitats at Lewis Ginter starting on Saturday. So this open Saturday runs through September 28th. You're going to find large-scale exhibits throughout the garden that are inspired by ecosystems. A lot of them are interactive, educational, to kind of get you to ask questions about maybe your relationship with nature and ecosystems. There is actually, if you go on lewisginter.org, I have it up here. It goes into all of the different artists that are actually featured, the names of their specific works, and where you can find them. Even the history of all the artists too. So it's pretty in-depth. Look at that. I mean, that almost looks, it doesn't even,
the reflect of the water makes it look like it's balancing.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
It's pretty cool. So if you want to check that out, lewisginter.org, and there should be a big icon where you can, it's pretty obvious where you can click. This is included in general admission. It's free for members to get in if you want to check that out. But again, it stays open through September 28th, so you do have some time. And like Matt said, it's going to be beautiful, so get out in nature. Learn about nature. Think about nature. The next event I want to talk about is the 160th Breakthrough Battle Weekend at Pamplin Park. Okay, Maddie, I had to look this up.
Go ahead. Educate me on this one.
It's about a battle from the Civil War that happened on April 2nd, 1865. Historians call it one of the most important battles.
Interesting.
Because it led to the evacuation of Petersburg and Richmond. 1 week later, Robert E. Lee surrenders to Ulysses S. Grant.
Okay.
At the Appomattox Courthouse.
Right.
So this, they say, is the battle that kind of
tipped the scale,
ricocheted the rest of the events.
Gotcha.
So to commemorate this, there's going to be a full weekend of activities Saturday and Sunday from 9 to 5 over at Pamplin Park to commemorate that battle. So you're going to find living history, reenactment, speakers, demos, that sort of thing. Now, have you been to Pamplin Park before?
I don't think I have. I'm trying to think.
It's closer to, like, I believe, like the Dinwiddie-Petersburg line.
area, right? Yeah, okay, yeah.
I was there actually, I think last year for a story. It's pretty fascinating. Obviously the history that's there and the folks that work there are so dedicated to their craft. You could spend, both days learning about so much. And it is family friendly. Want to make that clear. The adults will cost you $15 to get in. Seniors and military with an ID, $12. Children, 6 to 12, $8, and children under 6 are free.
Okay.
So that is on Saturday and Sunday again at Pamplin Park from 9 to 5. You can go to pamplinpark.org if you want to learn more about it. They have more details. That's just like overarching. But hey, I love history, so it's pretty fascinating. Okay, so this one's for the movie buffs. Richmond Symphony presents Jurassic Park in concert. This is happening Saturday at 6 o'clock at the Altria Theater. So, of course, it's Steven Spielberg's Oscar-winning movie. It'll be on a giant screen, and then the Richmond Symphony is playing the score live, which I think just brings it all to life.
For sure, absolutely.
And I'm trying to, I don't want to sing it, but it's like, that one?
Uh-huh. Yep.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
That's the ending music for sure.
Right, okay.
So is this, oh gosh, what's his name? Did the score for, for Star Wars and did this, John Williams. Is this a John Williams?
Him?
It is a John Williams score. There we go.
Thank you
for our digital manager, Tanik, over in the corner there. I asked him to be on the show today, and now we know why.
He was on the show.
Yeah, but he needed to be seen, not just heard.
Right.
So John Williams. Yeah.
Okay. If you want to buy tickets, richmondsymphony.com. What were you going to say?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Anything.
The tickets range from $15 to $88 just based on where you decide to sit. I know Richmond Symphony kind of does this frequently. They did one for Avatar. They've done it for Harry Potter.
Right.
Those classic scores that you think about.
Right.
John Williams, right? John Williams? Okay. I'm getting a yes. I'm learning so much today. All right. The last event that we want to talk about is the Vietnam War Veterans Day commemoration. So this is Friday and Saturday at the Virginia War Memorial down in Richmond. Saturday is officially National Vietnam War Veteran Recognition Day. So, of course, they're recognizing the thousands of Vietnam War vets about the 1955 to 1975 era. So at 1 o'clock on Friday, they're doing a special recognition outdoor ceremony at the Shrine of Memory. If you've been to the War Memorial, it's all of the names are on the walls. There's a big, beautiful, I believe it's a statue. And that's going to include an open mic session so veterans can share their personal stories of their time serving, maybe their time coming back home. So that's on Friday. Saturday from 9 to 4, there's an open house for the public with an emphasis on Vietnam with exhibits, documentaries, guided tours. The public is invited to both of those events just based on what you want to go to or talk about. And I think the Virginia War Memorial, Maddie, does such a good job. Yeah. I think we really can't thank our veterans enough.
Correct. You can never do that. And this was the Vietnam War, I think above all else, is one of those wars. There was so much contention around it, whether we should have been there. And unfortunately, our soldiers took the brunt of it coming home, where they didn't get the welcoming that they should have. And I think that that's really a sad part as to what happened, because every veteran needs to be thanked, and they are today, but they were just treated so bad when they came home because of the circumstances surrounding that war. So, I'm glad that they're doing something for them. And you're right, though. The Virginia War Memorial, we had them on 9 o'clock a couple of weeks ago, where we did Black women in history that served in the armed forces. That was awesome. And again, anytime they're doing something, they're doing it in a great way to really honor the memory of those who have served and those that continue to serve, which is great.
And I love how every morning we have our Virginia War Memorial camera. It's a good way to start it.
We have two of them there. Yeah. So we can really show different things. But and that outdoor seating area, which they use a lot during Memorial Day, is providing it doesn't rain, so I got to work on that, of course, but is really a great treat for sure.
Yeah, I can't imagine some of the stories that you may hear on Friday if you head out to that. And again, the Virginia Memorial on 621 South Belvedere Street in Richmond. Sounds like, again, the weather is going to hold up nicely.
Be pretty nice, for sure. Yeah.
Well, that's all I have for grade 8 this weekend. Maddie, you got anything?
I have nothing going on to bring to your attention this weekend other than just get outside and enjoy the weather, even if you can't go to some of these wonderful events.
Yeah, good advice there. And I think I know the cherry blossoms.
Yes, this weekend probably going to really be blooming up in D.C.
But we also have them in Richmond too.
Well, there's a small little subsection, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to make the trip up,
you can do that.
You have options. You have options. And I say this every week, but if you have an event you'd like us to learn about, please let us know. news@wrec.com. We're also interviewing folks on 8 News at 9. Send us an email at interview@wrec.com, and we will figure out if that's a good fit for our show. We'd love to hear from you and all the amazing things that you guys are doing out in the community. But for now, we will say goodbye, and we'll see you next week.